Good evening to you all. Hey, how's it going? Today's cooking tips come to you from Taco Cats. Okay, not really, but anyway, I'm going to make something kind of comforting today, as it's pretty cold out. But before I start cooking, I'm going to do my traditional lighting of my candle. When I cook, I like to light my candle. It's just comforting. Nice fancy wand here. Okay, so someone said, how do you make soup? And it kind of surprised me, but I'm just gonna do a potato soup. I don't even have all it planned out yet, because I'm just kind of making this up as I go. Now, is there a potato soup out there with recipes that you can follow? Absolutely. But I didn't go to the store to get a bunch of stuff, so I'm just going to kind of get what's around the house already, so I don't have to go. And so far, I've collected a couple of onions, and of course, you got to wash and prep your potatoes. So I'm going to start with that, and we'll go from there. Okay, my friends, onions are cut and the potatoes are cut, and you didn't need to see me cutting them, in case I had a little accident, because I'm good for that. This knife I'm using is incredibly sharp, and also didn't want you guys to see me cry. Yeah, oh my god. Anyway, there's a trick to keep you from having burny, watery eyes. But I didn't have time for that. But anyway, right now I'm gonna melt some butter and get that all nice and melted. And also what I put together while I'm waiting for that is some water with some chicken broth. We're gonna do that. You can use beef broth, chicken broth, any kind of broth you want. I'm going to go ahead and pop those onions in. You're like, holy moly, Maria, it's a lot of onion. Oh, I kind of have a habit of making too much food, so I'm kind of making this whole thing, but it makes for great leftovers, and for your lunch. You don't have to buy lunch. You can just reheat your nammies. So I'm going to, oops, I see something in here, excuse me, there we go, little onion bit. I'll let this brown up a little bit. You can smell it already. Sometimes I like to add the seasonings with this while it's browning. And let me see what kind of seasonings. I'm a seasoned kind of gal. And I like to use a lot of seasonings, and I have a lot. So sorry, I had to go diving for them. So right now we could probably add I'm gonna add some pepper to it. This pepper? Yeah, pepper. Give it some flavor. Don't be shy with your seasoning. And I'm going to add some garlic powder to it as well. Garlic powder. I would use fresh garlic, but again, we're just getting things from around the house, showing that sometimes you may not have fresh garlic, and garlic powder is just as good. I am going to use a jalapeno powder just to give it a little bit of flavor there, and then as I've told you before, I'm hooked on the Pioneer Woman products, and one of her products is an allspice. Anything goes every day. Add a little bit of that to it, and I'm going to spice it up some. So I'm going to add some red chili pepper. Oh look, from Trader Joe's. So let's add some of that. I try not to add that while I'm in this process because it'll usually burn your eyes, but I think we're okay. It's not going to get too bad. It is cold outside, so I think comfort food is going to be the best thing for right now. I like to caramelize these a little bit, and you don't have to. Some people may just throw them in and let them cook, and that's fine too, but I kind of like doing this because it brings out the flavor of that caramelized onion. So you're not just having raw onions, it's got some flavor to it, which is why I like to put the seasonings in there. And let's add a little more red chili pepper. Oh, I guess we could probably use some salt. I do like to use the Himalayan pink salt because you actually don't need too much of it because it's so flavorful. I love salt. Oh gosh, I'm so bad with salt. And this pan I'm using is one of the Pioneer Woman collections as well. I'm loving it. It's beautiful. And I'm going to make a dessert sometime here, and I'll be using some other stuff. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and add in the potatoes. We're just going to add them. I'm using the red ones. I used to love using the russet potatoes. But I find when you're making a soup, stew, the potato takes like a bazillion skillion years. Yeah, for me anyway. And it doesn't kind of get soft as I like it, but I find that using these red ones have a little more flavor, and they tend to get softer faster. I would use a pressure cooker and have this done in about 20 minutes, but I think I'm going to do it this way because I'm not in a rush. I still have potatoes left. Hey guys, I am back. Okay, so I forgot to do that check battery thing, and oopsie, my phone died. Had to charge it up for a bit, but I had to also continue on. What I did was I just added the chicken broth and water till it kind of fills up to the top there and covers up your potatoes. Now, in the process of adding your chicken broth, you could have put a little bit of flour in if you wanted it a little bit thick, but I like to thicken it by using, I'm going to be pouring in this milk and heavy whipping cream. Yes, heavy whipping cream. You heard it right. That'll actually thicken it up some for you. Sometimes I also like to add sour cream to it to give it a little thickness too and a little flavor. I kind of like that flavor of the sour cream into it. As you may have noticed, I haven't added any protein meats yet and vegetables because I'm letting the potatoes get a little bit softer before I do that. So I will come back and add some vegetables and meat later. I tend to find that if you add the meat now, it makes it really dry. So I wait a while till the potatoes are halfway there, and then I'll add the vegetables. So we'll come back when we get to that point. Have your heat on a lower heat. Not low, just lower. Medium maybe? I don't know. My stuff doesn't have a number on it, so I don't know what number it's on, but it's just got, let's take a look at the heat. Isn't it? Here we go. Because, as you can tell, I didn't measure and whatnot. You just add to your heart's content. I'll come back. Dokily, guys. Let's take a look at the how it's thickening right now. It looks like it's thickening pretty well. I'm going to go ahead and add something to it, a vegetable, and I couldn't even find canned vegetables, fresh vegetables, so I'm actually going to add some spinach to it. So that should work. So we're going to put spinach in it. I would have loved to add mushrooms. I don't have any. Green beans would have been nice, but I don't have any. So we're just going to put a little green in there and add some vegetable. So back to simmering a little bit more before I add the protein, and I think I have an idea on what protein I'm going to add. I'll let you know as soon as I let this sit for a little bit longer. Oakley dokley, guys. So we've got our spinach nicely meshed in there, and I decided for my meat is actually not so much meat as it is decided to do a fish. Now you're wondering, what kind of fish is this? This is actually Louisiana style fish, and I like to use this because Louisiana style fish, as you know, is spicy, and this is really spicy. The fish is tilapia, and I like the crust in there because it does give it a little bit of crust in the mix, and it softens it up nicely enough so it's not going to be hard for you, but I don't mind a little bit of crunch in it because it's kind of nice, a nice texture. So I'm going to add this incredibly spicy fish. One of the other reasons I'm using it is, again, you choose things that are sitting around your kitchen, and you'd be amazed at some of the really nice things that you can put together just by what you already have in your kitchen. So I'm trying to get all of it in here. It looks like I've got all of it. I'm just trying to get some of the crusts in there. Alright, so I'm gonna just go ahead and mix this up. And it doesn't need much more cooking time because the fish is already cooked. Let's test out one of the taters and see how soft it is. Let's take a look how soft it is. Ooh, see that? Oops, I didn't even show you. Sorry. Look. See? Nice and soft. Don't want to waste that. So it came out nicely. Nice and soft. So it's going to work well with this. So it's going to be a spicy dish, but it's nice for this cold weather. So there you have it, my friends. A nice potato and spinach with some fish soup. So yeah, made up, didn't follow a recipe, but it's gonna be pretty tasty. I will catch you guys next time when we come together to make delicious food. Take care, y'all.